What up, witches and bitches? Welcome to High House. It's me, your girl Jessie. If you are not familiar with me, I hold a lot of titles. Basically, wherever source calls me to hold space, that is where I'm holding space. And in doing so, it's brought me into holding sacred spaces. The thing is, like, sacred spaces for a collective. And the last and biggest event that I've ever done was Goddess Gathering. And we'll talk more about that eventually, because that was such a life-giving, life-altering experience that I'm still processing, because only a few months ago. All of that to say, your girl is a hermit. For those of you watching on YouTube, I'm showing you my hermit lantern tattoo right now on my hand, because, and also if you speak human design, then you'll understand this one too. I'm a 6'2" manifester. So I have these beautiful creative urges and visions that spirit gives me, and this is one of them. High House is one of them. And I've done podcasts in the past, but this one felt like it needed to be me. There's so many messages and downloads that I've been getting recently that I noticed that all of us have been getting, which is connecting to our voice. It's all about that throat chakra. And that is why I basically just decided this time it's personal. This time, High House is for the homies. And in order for it to be for the homies, I need to feel at home. So we're at High House. We're at my mom's house, actually. For those of you who are watching the YouTube video, first of all, sorry for the lighting. Ultimately, my intention, oh my God. Again, I feel like I need to keep apologizing for the lighting. But my intention was, Source is my co-creator. Source is all of our co-creators. And I felt called to just go out into nature and record and start High House in this way. And to have Mother Nature be my co-host, essentially. And it all just timed out perfectly to where it's eclipse season, full moon, lunar eclipse, blood moon in Virgo on tomorrow, actually. Technically today, East Coast, depending on where you are in this world. And yeah, and I got to house sit for my mom. So there's just like a lot of things lining up to be able to take advantage of this. And if you've gotten this far in my ramble, then bitch, I fucking love you. You're a real one. Thank you. Now on to the lighting. There is a heat lamp above us, homies, because if you can't tell, it's raining. It's actually a full-blown storm, which to me is so fucking epic. Like, ultimately, I am definitely thinking about those who are houseless or just in conditions that are not the vibe, you know what I'm saying? But I also am the type to see a spiritual reason and symbol in everything, and I just find this such a beautiful symbol of Mother Nature herself purging and allowing herself to just be a part of this eclipse energy and release and allow what needs to happen and let go of what needs to be let go of, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it is, how I'm hearing it is just cold, like energetically cold. Because I guess we'll just get into this. So just so you guys know, High House is where we come together and we get on a high frequency and we smoke and we meditate and we chill and we talk and I unpack. Basically, you're at my TED Talk and we just let ourselves channel and connect and release and express without any type of, clipboard in hand or preparation. In fact, the only reason that my laptop is open in front of me is because it's recording the audio for the podcast. But other than that, I just wanted this to be a stream of consciousness, to let source speak, to let free flow happen and trust that something that is shared is what is meant to be shared and heard. Do we keep it simple like that? I think we might. I'm feeling called to keep it simple like that, where we just set the intention. And I guess that's what this episode is about, is to let you guys know what my intention is with this podcast. It is to allow a stream of consciousness to flow, for my Pisces self to really, really be my Pisces self and to express and to represent a frequency that we can all vibrate in on this higher frequency, to access that more freely rather than allowing these barriers, even barriers of information, like I was sharing earlier, with knowing so much astrologically. And also, if you didn't know, I'm a tarot reader, and so I'm always pulling cards and looking into energy for myself or for others. And that recently I had a download basically just saying, like, you know too damn much, girl. You know too damn much. Let yourself feel. Let yourself be in flow. I don't know if you're hearing car alarms going off in the background, but this is also why I felt called to have these podcasts filmed and recorded outside, is because, again, source is always talking. So yeah, my intention is to just let ourselves flow in conversation, to let ourselves reflect on certain things. And the more that I look at myself, know myself through things like, and let me just say, I'm taking all of it with a grain of salt and practicing all these different modalities and seeing what feels right, what adds peace or what takes away peace, and making the appropriate adjustments to really live in peace and harmony with myself and with Creator. And so when I use my birth chart information to look at things like human design or my astrological birth chart or gene key, it's all of these pieces to help me feel and trust what feels good and go in that way, as opposed to taking it as gospel and then saying, oh, this is how I operate, so this is how it has to be. Like earlier when I was referencing, I'm a 6'2 manifester. That's because that shit actually resonates with me, and it brought me peace to know that I don't have to argue with that aspect of myself that wants to rest or go into hermit mode and then have these big ideas that impact people and kind of trigger people sometimes too. And also, holding space as a tarot reader and understanding how powerful my voice and my message actually is, and trusting and knowing and having these, all of that to say that this podcast is going to be the philosopher's mind, essentially, and how beautiful it is. And I've often thought too how many female philosophers there are and were that just never got credit. And again, that is just another question that may never have an answer, and that's okay. I'm at peace with that. And I feel like a running theme in these episodes is basically me going to just be on these different trains of thought and y'all just following along. And certain things that I say will spark certain things within you, because I've just found I am not that bitch to come here with a teleprompter or with these notes to say, well, I have to make sure I say this thing or have to make sure I have this quote. Also, never say never. A bitch might show up in here really inspired by a Abraham Hicks video that I've watched, or a Queen Herbie song, or you know what I'm saying? Like, this just, it is me, it is us. Hello, hi. So if you're on that vibe, you want to be in this high house right along with me, then come along, my love, come along. And sometimes I will have other other guests on the show, but for the most part, it's me and creator outside seeing what's up and talking and communing. So with that, thank you for being here. I love you so much. I hope that I trust that something that I said today sparked something in you that needed to be awakened so that you can align yourself more with your truth and ground and trust into that a little bit more every day, every moment. We all have to-do lists. We all have things that we quote unquote should be getting done right now. But that is simply the matrix giving you another to-do list. And I am simply offering you another viewpoint to say, hey babes, maybe it doesn't have to be so immediate. Maybe you can honor your own pace. Maybe you can take a moment to take a note that when Mother Nature is slowing down and releasing, that it's also an invitation for you to follow suit and to slow down and release and honor whatever needs to come up for you, whatever needs to be purged, or whatever needs to be celebrated. But in this moment, with this storm coming through, it feels like it's an invitation for all of us to allow our storms to pass as well, to let ourselves cry and feel, scream if we need to, dance, move your body. Do not hold on to anything that is feeling dense. It is not meant for you. It is a lower vibration that, bitch, we leave at the doormat. We don't bring it into the high house. You get what I'm saying? So take this moment. I love you. See yourself through your Creator's eyes. They did not put you on this earth to suffer. They put you here to thrive. And you are so beautifully powerful that you have the ability to free yourself. And so I give you the perspective to know that you can do that right now. By no longer buying into that voice that is telling you, hey girl, you should be doing A, B, and C. You gotta hurry up, da-da-da-da. No. That's not even your voice. That voice pisses you off. So we're gonna take a minute to breathe. And exhale. And for me, these exhales are a beautiful invitation to get ugly with it. All of this yuck energy, we're gonna get it out. So we're gonna breathe in the good shit, and breathe out the bullshit. Yeah. That's right. Move the body a little bit, get a little bit of life and movement and energy into you. I have no idea when I'm going to upload this. It is, we're 13 minutes in, and I think that it's about time to say that it is March 13th. And there's something about 13 that is so powerful and magical and beautiful. Transformative. It's connected to the death card in tarot, which a lot of people are scared of the death card for some reason. And again, free yourself from that limitation, because baby, the death card is about rebirth. It is an epic rebirth. It is Phoenix energy, my love. It is out with the old, in with the new. And it feels so fitting to reflect on that again while we are in eclipse season, which is all about karmic release. Lunar eclipse that we're at right now. This lunar eclipse is connected to the South Node in Virgo. And so when we're talking about South Nodes, it's like your shadow self, the past life lessons, things that are in the past and needing to be released. Think of it as an anchor that you've been needing to get rid of for a minute now. So for those aspects in regards to Virgo, it means things like over-analysis, critical mind and critical thinking. You may be gossiping a lot, bickering a lot, overthinking, being an asshole to yourself and others, feeling like an asshole because you have this to-do list over your head, you know? And so with this full moon lunar eclipse connected to that south node Virgo, it is saying all of these aspects that are causing you to feel rushed need to be done away with. Anything that is adding pressure and heaviness, and maybe that's why I'm feeling so called to dive into high house, because it's this concept of a higher frequency. And we are being called, especially with this specific eclipse energy, we have that solar eclipse at the end of the month on March 29th, which is a solar eclipse connected to North Node Pisces, and this new moon in Aries. So it's like a phoenix rising from the ashes in this huge spark of spiritual rebirth. You are more connected to source, more aligned. There's going to be more synchronicities. There's so much to access if you allow yourself to be in that higher frequency that allows those doors to be open to you. But if you are holding on to the overthinking, self-critical, coping mechanisms because you're just like overwhelming yourself with too much and pressuring yourself, or feeling pressured, or absorbing that shit, if you're not releasing that and recognizing that your own frequency is a frequency of abundance, that source is always giving you things, and so when you keep focusing on the bad things, they're gonna keep giving you bad things, and they're like, girl, I don't know why you keep asking. See what I'm saying? Thank you, source. Thank you for confirmation. All of that to say, honey, you are being given this opportunity to really tap in to your truth by recognizing your own pace and how you don't need to have all of this information. What I was mentioning earlier in this episode when I was saying like, sometimes you just know too much. So all of that information that I shared with you could very well be seen as like, oh fuck, we're in eclipse season, so that means like karma's in the house and I don't have a say in what's gonna happen to me, and spirit's gonna be taking over, and so I just need to fucking trust sleep and it's gonna be scary. Girl, if that's the way you're coming at it, then that's exactly how your experience is gonna go. But if you choose to allow yourself to be like, I'm gonna pace myself, I'm gonna take a moment to breathe and get out of this lower 3D vibration where I'm being weighed down by all of these material, earthly, heavy, slow energies, and tap back into source energy, tap back into all of the support, and like zoom out, get yourself out of the maze and recognize that you have a team of, how it's coming through is a team of experts who are on their busy season right now. Like they're getting shit done on your behalf. So you just need to really dive into learning how to calm your nervous system, to trust yourself, to trust in your spiritual support. And how you do that is you allow yourself to tap into that frequency more by going into that higher vibration, that higher frequency, by allowing yourself to slow down so you can actually feel it and recognize it and stay in it. So what are some like tangible things that you can do? Well, this podcast is a really beautiful way to do that, to actually just whatever it is that you're doing, even if you still are like cleaning or driving or painting or whatever the fuck you're doing in this moment, allow this podcast to be the grounding energy that helps you go at your own pace. And allow yourself to also get curious around what it is that you're allowing yourself to consume within, how I'm hearing is technologically. So are you constantly listening to music, and music that's, wah wah and sad and I miss them and it's always going to be about that and why didn't you love me and da 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 da? Are you watching TV shows like the fucking the Housewives shit? Are you watching things that are triggering and fearful and all of that stuff? And it's one thing to watch that and distance yourself energetically and get a chuckle and watch your popcorn and do your thing, girl. But it's a whole other thing to mindlessly do it to do it on autopilot, you know? So, you know, now I'm also being drawn to that phrase where they say the lights are on but nobody's home. Baby, the lights are on, come home. Hi, house. Okay? Also, the sun came out a little bit, and it's beautiful out here. It's beautiful. If you haven't already, grab yourself something to drink, some water. Cheers. I think also what I feel compelled to say is there's no agenda here. There's no agenda. There's no like, I have to say this or mention this thing. And I'm holding that frequency with an invitation for you to also know that in your life, you don't have to show up in any other way than your truth. Okay? And the truth is a fucking gift. So gift yourself the blessing of truth, or gift others their blessing of truth, because it's a scary thing to share the truth sometimes, but the truth will set you free. That phrase is a thing for a reason. Yo, let's pull a card. For those of you on YouTube, you're going to be able to see what we're pulling from, obviously, but for those of you just listening to the podcast, we are pulling from the Kali Oracle. And Kali is a goddess of, I want to say appetite and destruction, but no, she is, I mean, I guess that's the vibe. Intentional destruction. Oh shit, there's a card in here already flipped. Damn, that card that's flipped is the one. Wow. Gana Tantrika. I am probably butchering it, but you know, you get it. Okay, it says, excuse me, that's my siren call right there, I've decided. Okay. It takes strength of spirit not to override inner knowing with social pressures or an inhumane expectation of constant performance. Whoa. Come through, spirit. I love it. Trust in the shifting cycles to give yourself what you need for well-being. No being benefits when you are at odds with yourself. You have the inner power and capacity to be at peace within your being now. Bitch. Fucking mic drop on that one. My God, that was like exactly what we've been talking about. I fucking love when that happens, when spirit's like, bitch, did I stutter? Because I set the intention before I got into recording that I wanted to be a channel. I wanted to be myself. I wanted to allow spirit to speak through me, because that is myself. And it feels most natural when I just let myself flow. And I know that that's natural for all of us, to let yourself be in flow. And when you are, then things like that happen, where you pull a card that basically echoes everything you just got done saying, and that's the frequency that we're on, baby. Welcome. You found your people. And if you happen to be in Fresno or Clovis, Central Valley area, you've definitely found your tribe with me, because come to any of my events. Like literally, Saturday, I'm hosting a donation-based event at Sounds of the Light in Clovis. Yeah, it's tarot and tea. Right now, I'm sipping on some jasmine green tea. And it's very much like this. We're pulling cards, we're vibing, we're drinking some tea. And I'm always doing really dope-ass cannabis-friendly events. Intentional, spiritual, some more spiritual than others. But always a vibe. Anyways, thank you guys. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Let me know how you received this, either in the comments of this video, or are you able to comment on it on podcast stuff? I don't fucking know. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Find me at JessieRetroReadings.com. JessieRetro Readings on YouTube. Oh, wait, no. JessieRetro Readings on Instagram. JessieRetro on YouTube. How it's all written out, you can find written everywhere on this thing. And also, if you wanted to go on a beautiful, spiritual, but also just fun time trip with me and others, we're going to Mexico City in the beginning of December. It's gonna be fucking dope. We're gonna go to Frida Kahlo Museum. And anyways, all that to say, I love you guys so much. We're doing a lot of things, and if you want to be a part of it, there's a lot of ways to be a part. I love you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.